you heard of Herbert Simon?
Herbert?
Yeah.
Herbert who?
Simon.
Wasn't it the guy who died recently?
No. Not Jim Simons. And that the one who died has an S at the end of his name. Herbert Simon was a political scientist who also was just a genius because he was in many different areas. He was at CMU for a long time and was the head of the business school. But more profoundly than that, he was also one of the founders of the CS department. In CMU, unlike pretty much anywhere else, the business school is where the CS department came from and not, well, the math or anything else like that.
Interesting.
Along with Alan Perlis at CMU, the first Turing Award winner. And with Simon's help and another guy, Alan Newell, Alan Perlis established the CS department at CMU, which has obviously been very successful. And his whole thing was interest in organizations, but he really must have been a mathematician, at least at heart, because when he said organizations, he meant of any kind. Whether a bunch of rocks or a society. Most of the people these days who call themselves interdisciplinary, especially if they call themselves that, are usually fakers, or their ability in each of their fields they purport to have is not that great. But Simon was truly interdisciplinary in that all of his approaches informed one another, giving him unique perspectives on everything and anything. Read something of his. He has many essays as well. I figured you would like him because he takes this rigorous approach, but to things of more ordinary interest. I bet he would have liked to see AI as it is these days.
What are some of his seminal works?
The Theory of Organization. What is the name of it? Let me find the name. Human Nature and Politics, the Dialogue of Psychology of Political Science, Theories of Bounded Rationality. That one is a harder read, but the concept is very important. Bounded rationality means, because in economics and math, everything is idealized, so everyone is imagined as being perfectly economically rational. Which isn't the case, obviously. Even with something much smarter, it couldn't be the case. That's the bounded part. What puts bounds on your rationality, or anyone's rationality, is the limits of the world. That you have a finite amount of everything, energy, time, so on, and so you cannot do perfectly. Okay, then what do you do? Because this is more like reality, and that's the bounded part. The short answer is that it's really hard, but there is some general theory, and most of it comes from him. But in general, you cannot get an optimal solution, which shouldn't be a surprise. Let's see. He also was a pianist. There's a portrait of him that he commissioned that a friend of his painted at CMU. He was a mountain climber, and he once taught an undergraduate course on the French Revolution. Because he really does have wide interests.
As a political scientist.
He died in 2001, sadly. Administrative Behavior is his book, his first one, written in 1947. Bits of it are dated, bits are still good. Oh, his interest in organization is what led him to computers, also very early in the 50s. Because he determined the best way to study such things was computer simulation, to use its great speed as a test bed. Because it's not like you can do so many experiments with real people, especially not at scale. Well, I don't know, it's someone who's a hoarder, maybe. It's also causing traffic, because everyone is slowing down, I think, to look at it. See, even the cars on the other side, they're slowing down. Like, there's this big open lane. Like, one number I've wondered about is, like, for a cop, as they drive, their presence causes interference in the flow of traffic as everyone adapts to it and slows down suddenly to not get arrested. The problem is that can cause an accident quite easily itself, because someone just stops suddenly and then a guy doesn't notice and rear ends them. So I wonder, on average, for a cop, is their traffic contribution positive or negative aggregated across their whole life? Because if it turns out that they cause more time wasted in traffic and accidents, then their entire job is actually net negative. But because of a factor that is just subconscious, because it's how people perceive things. Like, if there were self-driving cars, this wouldn't be an issue. They would just ignore him. They'd probably also drive at the speed limit, but even separately, they would just ignore him anyway. Or they would notice and ignore him much faster than a human. But people can't do that, which is why anything unusual can cause traffic, like that thing. That ugly truck. No dependence on the input.
उनका कुछ जवाब आया बेटा? That's San Francisco guys. They return back.
Yeah. They canceled it and I got a refund.
Okay. And you're not going there now, right?
No.
Okay, so do you want to book what is that?
Lighthaven.
Right here.
Yeah, I'll book Lighthaven.
Mithu has another vacation after 2 weeks. Did he tell you that?
No, why does he have another one?
So they have this, priority order, like, which week you would like off, and then the hospital picks which they can afford to take. Like, you have to give choices. And I think for his friend's wedding, he took that week off also. And he probably must have put it pretty high up there, so they ended up giving him this week and then that
Okay.
week.
Is he coming back or what?
Yeah, he's coming back.
If only they had put it contiguously to save a couple flights.
Yeah. They don't do. And then he was excited about the birthday. I said, birthday was not that big a deal. I'm not a year-old kid. Yeah.
That's what you think. A birthday is as big a deal as people make it.
Yeah, that's true. But if you are coming like 2 weeks after, I mean, especially in US.
I don't think he expected to be coming 2 weeks after either, to be fair. Did he know that when they gave
that's
him?
True. No, he won't know. Because he will be knowing when it is done. And then when it is done, right? Yes, to be fair to him, it's not that he knew. Unless to start with, he can put that, no, I don't want this week off.
No, just that guy's not seeing you. That's the song.